As Gio makes a decision about his future, Laura makes a shocking discovery. Lois and Brooklyn talk, but things go south quickly. Lois thinks they should find Gio, but Brooklyn says that her own need to be forgiven doesn't outweigh his need to process what's gone down. Bielke goes on to say that if Lois is looking to be forgiven, she should look elsewhere. I have no interest in taking care of you and your feelings after you completely betrayed my trust. Lois insisted she did the best she could. You offered me a lifeline made of secrets, weeps Brooklyn. And God forgive me, I took it. Lois confesses that she didn't want to send the baby out into the world. She wanted to keep him close. We gave Gio a good home, Lois insists. We gave you your freedom. And that was the right thing to do. Lois suggests that had she not taken action, Brooklyn wouldn't have had the life she does. But Bielke feels robbed of the decision to make her own choices for Gio. She can't help Gio because he doesn't trust her, and neither she nor Gio will ever be able to trust again because of Lois' manipulations and lies. Brooklyn says Gio wants nothing to do with her and she, in turn, wants nothing to do with her mom. Just then, Gloria enters and tells Bielke, you want to have it out with someone, you have it out with me. Can Liz and Lucky reunite? Laura is surprised when she walks into Elizabeth's house and finds Rick there. When Rick excuses himself to get tea, Laura suggests to Liz that he'll swing by any time he knows Lucky is out of the house. There is so much talk of dragonberry juice, it feels like a paid promotion, but no brand is actually mentioned. Once Rick leaves, Liz assures Laura that while she and her ex will always be friends, she's definitely set boundaries with him. Laura says that Lucky clearly never fell out of love with Elizabeth, and that he no doubt sees Rick as a rival. Liz, however, has her doubts about the future. What do you do when you love someone, and you know they are really good at rescuing you, but they're just not so good at the mundane day-to-day life stuff that makes a relationship work? Lucky is just like his dad, and Luke and Laura couldn't make it. What makes her and Lucky different, wonders Liz. Alexis takes a meeting with Christina and Lucky, laying it all on the line. If the police investigate the cut-break line, her daughter's going to prison. They discuss how many potential witnesses there were, and Christina admits that Dante knows she was on the scene. They come to the conclusion that the only real evidence is the car itself, which Ava bribed someone to hide. Alexis advises Lucky to stay as far away from the mess as he possibly can. Once alone with Christina, Alexis says their options are to find the car or get Rick and Ava, two greedy, disgusting, duplicitous people, to turn on each other. Christina immediately wants to help, but Alexis snaps that she needs to stop being so impulsive. Christina ponders turning herself in, only to have Alexis say that would devastate Molly. So if you're not interested in saving your own life, do it for your sister. Portia tells Curtis everything. Carly asks Curtis to use Aurora Media to remind folks that Drew is an awful human being, thus helping shore up Michael's chances of getting custody. Curtis says he doesn't want to use his platforms to advance a personal agenda, but she points out all he'd be doing is publicizing the many, many sins Drew has committed and exposing him for the terrible person he is. But he points out that Michael is the majority shareholder in Aurora, so a smear campaign might leave Drew looking like the victim. Later, Portia tells Curtis that she and Nina hired a sex worker to frame Drew. He asks where Jacinda is now, and Portia admits she has no clue because they paid the woman a lot of money to leave town. The one thing Portia can't figure out? She and Nina drugged Drew, so how did Tracy get arrested? Curtis immediately realizes that Drew must have framed her. When Curtis worries his wife could be in serious trouble, she assures him the drug links back to Brad. And who's going to believe an ex-con over me? She asks. Curtis suggests a way to neutralize Drew. They need to find Jacinda. At the Crimson offices, Nina tells Ava her theory. Michael, not Jason, is the father of Sasha's baby. Hiding a pregnant mistress might, they muse, be enough to cost Michael custody. But there's one major fly in the ointment. Nina doesn't want to hurt Sasha. Ava, on the other hand, wonders why Sasha and Michael should get to keep their dirty little secret while Willow's entire life is out there on social media for everyone to comment on. They agree this is Drew's fault, and that if Willow gets custody of the kids, she'll never leave him. In fact, Nina thinks it might be best if her daughter doesn't get full custody, especially since Drew will obviously move Willow and the kids to DC the first chance he gets. Ava says that no matter what Nina does, there will be consequences. Her advice, Choose the consequences you can best live with. Michael has family time. Michael spends time with Sasha, asking if she'd hang with Wiley and Amelia while he's at the divorce hearing. She can't, however, because Rick has called her as a witness. They try to figure out why she's being called but can't come up with a reason, deciding that it's unlikely she'll actually be put on the stand. Maybe, Sasha reflects, if she told him about Drew and Willow kissing way back when, Michael and his wife could have worked through their issues and would still be together. Michael disagrees, saying he never knew the real Willow. I thought she was so good, so honest, by far a much better person than I was, he admits, meaning neither he nor Willow got to know who they were really with. Sasha says Willow threw away her marriage and deserves a jerk like Drew. Michael spends time with Sasha, the kids, and Carly. When they decide to go swimming, Wiley asks if Mommy can come, too. Joe's heading home. In a dive hotel, Gio looks at his phone and tells Emma it's blowing up. Half the messages are actually from people I don't know, he says. From people I'm so close to that I don't even have their number in my phone, but now we're family. But he refuses to have fake relationships with these new family members. Gio speculates that Sonny might have known the truth, theorizing that that was why he was so generous. Thinking back, Gio remembers that when looking at family photos, his mother never commented on traits he shared with his father. He also remembers Camila saying that having him saved her life. Emma suggests that his mom was speaking her truth, because having Gio come into her life after the death of her beloved husband gave her a reason to keep on going. He decides that Camila was his mom, and Brooklyn was just a woman who gave him away. Although Gio wants to go on a road trip and get away from everything, he decides he has to go back to Port Charles and figure out how I really feel about my family. In the episode's final moments, Laura pays Alexis a visit to say that there appears to be a lot of money missing from Ace's trust. Lucky tells Liz that he went to see a lawyer about the accident, admitting he knows more about it than he's told her. And Rick shows up at Nina's office to talk about her testimony, leaving her deciding whether to share what she now knows with him or not.